Today we're gonna be painting a bird. We're gonna use this picture as reference, so you know. It's a cardinal bird. So we're gonna use mostly red, white, black, and we'll mix a little bit of orange. Okay, and we're not gonna draw first because that will take quite a bit of time. We're just gonna go ahead with the painting, and we're actually do the outline with our brush and our paint. So to start, get a flat, small brush, and we'll draw the basic shape, and then we'll start painting. So I'm just gonna use a small canvas. I think for this painting it's better if we do it vertical. Just gonna fix my camera here.
Does anybody know the name of the bird? It's a very popular bird at Christmas. Sorry?
Cardinal. It's cardinal.
Cardinal, yes.
Yes. So I think we're gonna use just probably just red, so we don't have to mix anything for our outline. So get your red on your palette there. Any red works, any red that you have. And I'm gonna be using a small flat brush. So I'm gonna start with the outline. If you want, you can wait 1 or 2 minutes so I can get ahead so you can see what we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll just grab a little bit of pure red. So this is my red right here. And when I'm drawing the outline, I just want a little bit of paint on the tip, not too much. And I'm gonna start by putting a few landmarks. So if this is the center of my page, my bird is maybe the head starts over here. And try to start small because as we paint, we tend to make the drawing bigger. So just a few indications here and there. That's the head. And you see how my brush is very dry. That's fine. These is just for indications. And then the belly. Start with a smaller, so if you think that you want the bird this big, start with the smaller outline because we tend to make things larger as we paint and fix things. So it's just like an egg. This is the shape of an egg. This is the belly. It's a bit more round up here on the chest area and thinner at the bottom. tail goes down. So the tail is just as big as the head to where it starts, but I ran out of space and that's okay. But if you have a little bit more space down here, you can finish the tail. So you see that I started with just a little bit of paint, and I started with the basic outline. And this is nice because if we were to draw with pencil, then we have to erase, and sometimes it's good to practice paintings without any drawing first, so you improve your skills. Anytime I load my brush with more paint, I want to make sure I put it where I know there's going to be quite a bit of red. So here I put the excess, and then as I run out of paint, I continue with the outline. So this is the wing. And if you are not happy with at some point with the shape, later we can paint the background and fix things too. So I'm just gonna make a circle so it's easier for you to see the shape. And I have a little bit of fresh paint of my brush, and I'll just make indications of where his main body ends here. And also he's kind of grabbing the branch. Once we start painting more, we'll need a smaller brush for this, but this is the branch he's standing on. So I'm gonna go with a little bit more paint this time, going over the shapes that I do like. And the rest we can fix after with the background. If, let's say right here, maybe I wanna erase this section, we'll just paint over it on once we're doing the background. So don't be afraid to change things. If you see something needs to be changed. So I'll wait for you to finish the outline and then we'll mix a little bit of paint and get started.
Con cài mũ luôn. Đeo mũ.
I'm going to put the picture right next to the painting just in case. I'll hold it for a bit. I need to hold it just in case you need to use it more as a reference. Sometimes when I look at pictures like this, sometimes it can be a bit more confusing to know what shapes I need to draw, but just in case you need it.
Excuse me.
So what I'm going to do now is just grab a little bit of black, just a little bit, sorry, where's my camera? Just a little bit on the tip to make the indication where the black is on the face. If you need to switch to a smaller brush, you can do that. I'm gonna make a few lines here so my brain remembers this is shadow and it's a little bit darker, but look that I'm not putting too much paint. Okay, I'll let you finish your outline and then we'll mix the colors together. Don't spend too much doing details. This is just like the basic shape, so you know what to fill in. And now we're gonna get started with our colors. I like to start with the darker colors. So let's try mixing the darker color. I think we can use just the red and the black, see how that goes, but put a little bit of yellow on your palette just to see if we need it. So I'm just gonna remove this because it's gonna fall. So yellow on the side, and we'll start mixing a dark red. So in my palette right now, I have yellow, red, and black. So I'm gonna take the red. Sorry, this is just old paint, but it's just easier to remove it once they're thick layers. So just red and black. It gives me, I'm just gonna put it on the side so you can see this color. I think I used equal parts of red and black. Gives me a dark red. And with this color, I'm gonna start putting it just a few lines down here. So for this painting, I want you to do up and down strokes, kind of following the way where how the feathers directions. So under the wing, it's a little bit darker. The tail. And I'm gonna bring a few strokes down. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit. A second, I just wanna, if you have a little bit more space, I just wanna show you how to finish the tail at the bottom. So we said the tail is about the same size of as the body. So it's a V. You don't have to do this part, but if you have lots of space at the bottom, you can. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw with a thinner brush lines going up right there. Oopsie. Just put a little bit more tape. Just 1 second. So I'm gonna make lines with that dark color, that dark red that I have. I'm gonna make lines going up on the tail. Just like that. And now I'll make a few indications here behind my branch. That's where the tail starts. And these are the lines I was talking about. So I wanted to do lines up without too much pressure. And with just a little bit of paint. We will bring a few here. And I think we're ready for the next color once you're ready. So I'm gonna clean my brush. And now we're gonna, if you still have that dark red, we'll keep using that one, but we'll just change it a little bit. So we're gonna add more red first. So add more red to the color you were using. I'm gonna test it over here. And we're gonna add a little bit of yellow, just a little bit, to make it brighter. Or if you have another color, another red, sometimes reds are different.
Okay, bye.
I'll use, if you have a different kind of red, you can try that one. Or if you have an orange, you can try that. Just add a little bit to the color we're mixing. If you don't have any other red or orange, just add yellow. Just gonna test it over here. Okay, so I have a little bit of a lighter color, and I'm gonna do the same I did, but I'll just go on the sides, not completely covering. every brush stroke I point it towards the head. And once you're done, you can wipe the excess paint off. You don't need to wash it because we're gonna keep mixing the same color. But just change it a little bit. And the next color we're gonna mix, I think I wanna put that bright color. So let's get, if you have different kind of reds, grab the brightest one. If you only have one, we'll grab it, pure red, and we'll add yellow. So as you can see, I have two reds, this one and this one. This one is brighter, so I'll take this one. But you can also take any red you have, and we'll add a little bit of yellow. To make it bright. If it's looking too orange, you need to add more red. Just pure red and a little bit of yellow. And we'll make little strokes here. So you don't want to cover everything. I'll show you on the side. So I go touch, go down, touch, go down, touch, go down. I don't block it all. So for this color, you don't want to paint all over it, all what you have done. So notice how I did the chest. I left the bottom, I didn't really paint over it. Maybe a few strokes down, 1, 2, 3, but left this part darker. The chest, maybe a few strokes down the wing, and this little thing he has here with this bright color. Maybe the forehead too can be bright red. And sometimes I like looking at the picture and squinting my eyes so the picture looks a little bit blurry, because then I can see the blocks of paint. So if I start to focus, let's say my vision over here, the back becomes blurry and I see that there's a big block of bright red here and a big block of dark red. So sometimes I like doing that. Make sure the red you're making is bright. So if you already have an orange, add that orange. I think sometimes it's called vermilion or something like that. It's a very bright color. Now I added a little bit more yellow or orange, if you have orange, to the color I was already using, to the red. And I'm just gonna add a few strokes here. So I added a little bit of orange or yellow to make it lighter. And I'm painting over the same thing I just painted to add more highlights. I'm gonna move this closer so you can see the texture or the color difference. We can make, so this area, we can make little lines going to my right, like this. So I'm doing this, but smaller. once you're done, put white on your palette. So we're gonna keep using the color you have, the bright red with a little bit of yellow or orange. And we're gonna add a little bit of white. I'm gonna test it here. So I can see the difference, so I'm gonna put a few strokes down. So the color I have right now is the color we were using, the red with a little bit of yellow. And now I added white, but just a little bit, so I can see a lighter area. And again, just lines, don't block it off. Just lines here and there. Along the wing. And at the back of this little thing. And just a dot on the forehead. You can take your time doing this step. Look where the lighter red is. I'm gonna go to the next step just so you can see the whole picture. But the next step is just adding more white to the color you already have. If it's becoming too pink, add more yellow. You want a light red orangey color, not pink.
Silvana?
Yeah.
So when you're adding color to the palette, can you show the palette for those who don't understand English?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
So right here, this is the color I was using. I'm adding more white. So white, if it's too pink, add a little bit of yellow. Gonna put it on the side. I think it needs to be lighter. So I have the red I was using. I add a yellow and white and then mix. If you have orange, bright orange, you can add orange. I want you to look at how I do those brush strokes. Just with the tip, I touch quick drag down. Gives us the illusion of feathers. Here I drag to the side.
这个颜色是紅色、黃色跟白色的。阿梁睇下，呢個係紅、黃同埋白色㗎。
Make sure you take your time, look at what colors, at the difference of the colors. If you need to go back to a previous color, that's okay. Mix it again and you can paint again over. The key here is not to cover your previous colors. You want them to show through your new color. So if you think you have covered too much, go back. So right now I'm going back to the pure red with a little bit of yellow, but this is just pure red.
有戴帽，但係佢凍，佢就頭有啲頭痛，少少嘅。戴要。
And now we're gonna go with the lighter color. I think to mix it, we're gonna just grab the white and you add a little bit of red, just a dot. So lots of white and a few dots of red. It's very light. And we're gonna do this area over here. Same thing. Just feathers. Very, very light pressure. Very little paint on your brush. If you have a lot of paint, or once you grab your paint, start over here that there's a bit more white. And then as you run out of paint on your brush, go farther down. You see my brush is almost dry. I'm going back with pure red here in the middle. It's just a lot of patience of going back and forth between two colors. If you're doing the bottom, remember this is like a backwards V. And I think we're done with the body. So I'll let you finish and then we'll continue. Once you're done with the body, going back and forth between the white and the red, you can clean your brush. And once you're done, clean your brush. We're now gonna mix the orange. So to mix the orange for the beak, we're gonna use, if you have an orange already mixed, use that one. You can make it darker by adding drops of black or blue, or you can make it lighter by adding white. If you don't have an orange, I don't have one, so we'll mix it. So to mix orange, I think I need a very small brush for this section. So to mix orange, I'm gonna use red and yellow. So I'm just gonna mix it. Oh, I think my yellow is dry now. Let me just put more yellow on my pen. We don't need too much because it's just a very small section. You don't need too much paint. Sorry. So I have red and yellow. Gonna test it on the side here. That looks too red, so I'm gonna add more yellow. So I have my orange I'm mixing. I want to add more yellow.
冇聽啊，垃圾電話嚟嘅。垃圾電話嚟。
So I'm gonna, with this orange, I'm gonna do the darker parts of the beak, and then I'll add white to go lighter and lighter, just like we always do. So there's there's a line right here. Let me just get, it's better if you don't have too much paint. And then at the bottom. I think I need an even smaller brush, but round. If you have a round brush, it'll be easier to draw these lines. And then for the next color of our orange, this is my orange, I add white and mix. Now we do the top part of the beak. And I do the lower part or the upper part of the bottom. I will zoom in just 1 sec so you can really see. So the upper part is round, quite round here. Then the bottom here kind of goes down. I'm gonna go back with my darker orange to go over the lines. So for the beak, I only use 2 colors, a darker orange, which is just red and yellow, and a lighter orange, which is the same orange, but I added more yellow and more white. And the lighter orange is for the highlights or the top. The darker is for where you see these lines. And at the bottom here, if your first orange is not light or dark enough, you can add a little bit of black, but just a dot. So this is my black. This is just a tiny dot that I add to the orange to make it darker. Just a tiny, tiny drop. If you add too much black, you can just add more red and more yellow. So this whole painting has been going back between light and dark colors. So it's always nice to have a little bit of extra light or dark, just in case you want to go back and add a certain color, you can definitely do that. And this is my light. I just realized we haven't done the eye. This is just the little blank space I left, but it looks like the eye. But after you're done with this orange, we're gonna make the eye. So once you're done, wash your brush. I'm gonna make it closer here so you can see. So if you notice, I made this line at the bottom dark, this border that touches the black dark, and the middle line dark, sorry. The rest is a little bit lighter, and this line is curved like this. This ends right here. If you have lines that are imperfect, you can fix it once you paint the background. For background, you have options. You can paint it white as a reference picture, or you can get creative and paint it another color, maybe green or whatever color you'd like. I think I will paint it white. So let's do our eye. It's very easy. We'll use a pointy brush, very small round brush, like this. And let's do it, just grab white, pure white. first. We're just gonna use white. You don't need too much. So to grab the white, when I want to make it pointy, I just put my brush and roll it around like this. So I get a pointy white. And we're just going to draw. I think the location of where I left this blank is okay. I might just bring it up a little bit. So, sorry, I'm going to cover the camera for a little bit so I can really draw it. So we're going to draw the outer. And it's not a full circle, but almost. And now I'm gonna put a highlight on the eye right there. And now what I'll do is you'll wash your brush, and now we're gonna paint with just black paint. So I have pure black on my paintbrush. And I'm gonna paint inside. Actually, I'll start with the outer area here that's dry. I want to paint inside just the eye. Sometimes you can do it the other way around, do the black first and then on top, but sometimes the white is not opaque enough to cover the black. So I'd rather do it this way. Make sure you have paint at the tip. That's our eye. We'll just go over the black area now that we have black. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. The eye. So it's just not a full circle, but almost, with white, and then just a big drop of white, not in the middle, but more up inside the black circle. And then I just painted inside the circle with black again, just to make it very dark. I think I'll let you finish this, and we'll see, because we need to still paint the branch.
Wait.
I just noticed the forehead is too flat. I'm just using pure red, so you don't need to mix anything, just to fix it a little bit. It's not too flat. And the last thing we are going to do is the branch and the, I don't know what they're called, the paws or. So we're gonna keep using the colors we have already out. Let's do the branch first. So make sure your brush is clean. Let's mix. If you have brown already mixed in your colors, use that brown. If you don't have brown, let's just mix an orangey color or use the orange you already have. But we'll add blue, just a drop of blue. So I'll show you here. So this is the orange I had already mixed before. I just take a drop of blue and mix. Okay. We'll see how this is looking. If you have brown, use your own brown. You don't need to. I think making brown is one of the hardest colors to mix because you have to mix all of them, all your primary colors. Looking like a greenish muddy color, but I like it. whatever brown you get, doesn't really matter. It's not the center of our painting. Let me try this color. Yeah. So if you're not sure how to mix brown, we had the orange. We added a little bit of blue. If you run out of orange, remember we mix orange by mixing yellow and red. So let's just paint this little guy over here. Make sure your line is not straight. You never see a straight branch. It goes over because it's in front of him. Okay. Maybe very easy branch. Now I'm gonna add white to this brown. Just a little bit of white. And I go over it. Not completely, but just on the top. And that's our branch. And once you're done with your branch, just wash your brush. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just some little indication that he's standing somewhere. Don't spend too much time on the branch because we need to do the legs, and that's when we're done.
Don't we need feet, teacher?
Sorry?
Don't we need feet?
Yes, we're gonna do the feet right now. After you're done with the branch, we're gonna draw the feet.
Great.
So with the feet, use a small round brush. So a brush like this, and we're gonna make it's kind of like a grayish color. So let's mix black and white. That gives me a grayish color. And I'm gonna add a tiny bit of red. And I just like to stir with the darkest areas. So I'm mixing black, red, just a little bit of red, and white. So this is my color here to start. So his legs, so his feet start over here and go around. We're gonna go later with a lighter color, but right now we're just gonna make an indication of where we want it to be. and he has 3 kind of fingers. So this is just our first indication of where we want it. Make sure you have lots of paint on your tip so it's easier to draw. One, 2, 3. The other one is over here. Also has 3, but they're not straight. So go left and then go down. I'll add more color in a bit. I want the first layer to dry. So after this first layer, we're gonna add maybe a little bit of brownish color, light brown, and then the highlights. So to make it a bit more brown, I'm adding red, yellow to the gray. And white to make it lighter. If you still have orange left, you can put orange, but I used it all. So red and yellow gives me orange. And I added that orange to the gray for a warmer gray. I'll go on top. And now I'm gonna add more white to the color I have. Like always, we start with a dark color, and as we go, we add more white, more white. Oh, bless you. So look at your picture, look at your bird. What do you think he needs? Does he need more highlights? Do the feet look like they need more shadows? I'm gonna add a little bit more shadows with my darker gray that I had from before. More shadows over here. I'm just mixing orange when the gray I had makes it darker. And I'm gonna show you how to fix your borders, your edge. Just so that, because I have lots of white and I don't want to waste it. So you can do this, or you can paint the entire background another color. I like how it looks with the white contrast. So I am going to grab a clean flat brush and I grab pure white. Let me test it over here. Oh, my brush is dirty, you see. Just gonna grab a clean brush. So I grab the white, let me test it, okay. And then I just paint over the edge, just erasing the things I don't like too much. And that's our last step. You can use a smaller brush than me. This might be too big. If you're happy with your edge, you don't have to do this step, and then you can sign and date your painting. Remember to clean your brushes.
可以啦。
差唔多。
Okay, I'm gonna sign mine, and once you're done with yours, sign yours too.